more, selling more. But if I could like just skip one slide and show you this. How many times have you heard that a Godrej Almira was bought and sent back to the factory? You know, like the faulty pieces. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the discarded and the grey market of the export goods. But when you design things that last forever, I think that's what you get. This is the kind of brand value that you can generate out of it. Generations of families. Once a Godrej Almira comes into your home, it lasts forever. It would just keep, and not just that, it is actually a styling accessory. I mean, I'm sure all of you must have seen these metal covered renovation projects that somebody has painted something on it, somebody has put some trimming, and if I speak of brand value, I don't know what a lot of people here are from my previous generations, but also a lot of young ones that I see. But in my generation, we grew up, Almira was never called Almira, it was always called Godrej. So now that's the kind of power. If Godrej was selling an object that would just, that is designed in obsolescence, which means like you're designing things to break quickly and then vanish quickly, you wouldn't have this, right? So longevity is not, like, forget, like for a moment, if I don't even emphasize on low carbon footprint and material, footprint, this is so rewarding, isn't it? Creating objects that last forever. So I think it's one of the, and of course adaptability. Second aspect is like not just longevity but adaptability. You can put your files and folders, you can put your clothes, you can put a variety of objects. So not hyper tailor made just to do one thing, but an object that does multiple things and lasts forever. Yeah, I think that's what we are. This is another strategy. So don't design for obsolescence. Design for building product loyalty, brand loyalty. Design for building memories, and that would also mean you would and when people, even when the buyer capacity in this country was not as it is right now, people would still save up money and buy these objects because they know they're going to last forever. So you're not just, you're expanding your customer base, you're building a mega brand, but also looking at things that are pro-planet. So I think longevity and adaptability is one of the most important aspects of designing. So don't design for obsolescence. And then, of course, there's some more examples here for minimizing waste. So tannin selvage that you see, it's a fabric made out of the denim waste, and like when you make jeans and like denim goods, there's a lot of fringes, a lot of loose thread that is generated out like as a waste. So one of our students has actually redesigned like an entire fabric. So she's put the waste onto a loom, woven it into a reusable and a completely new material itself. The leather bag that you see is made out of the waste generated out of footwear industry. So you're in footwear, you take like big pieces of leather, and then to be able to fit it into a profile, there's a lot of chopping that happens. So what you get is like you get these really little pieces that you can't really do anything with. With leather, imagine it's like a 20-30 year life cycle of the object, and if you treat it well, it could actually last for centuries. So it's such a precious material that just because of the manufacturing situations and like these kind of thinking we need, how do we actually take it and make it into a useful product? So these are just, and of course, I mean, I will not also say that some of them are wild, some of them are readily ready to get into manufacturing mode, but some of them are not. So these are like just some indications. Where can we begin? And we need, I mean, that's why we are using, and very thankful to Anjali for this initiative, that we're using this platform to begin these conversations. We cannot do it alone. We need all of your support, and you will. So, yeah. In fact, waste minimization could also look like this. Like, for example, this is very, again, same cycling issue that I was mentioning. Like, you're making tabletops, you're making chairs, you're making furniture, where very, very small pieces are left out, like the ones that you see in the bottom image. So, including circularity in your manufacturing processes could also, you can also upcycle your waste into usable objects like that. So that table is made from that little waste that you see downstairs. You need those tailor-made solutions for your businesses. Yeah. That's the end of things that I want to say, but I would love to hear back from you. And if there are any questions,
I'd just like to add a few words here. Thank you, Sweetie, for that wonderful presentation. I'd like to say that this is a project that we've done with NID and EPCH together. And the role of NID has been, of course, to create with their students some sustainable products and develop some new materials in their classroom. So we've involved both students and alumni of NID in doing this, and of course we've set up a stand which is here at the fair, and I'd really like all of you to go and see that. This is a larger project under our design initiative of EPCH, where we are looking to bring together our design students and alumni in touch with exporters, just to do the type of research that Sweetie has been talking about. I'm not going to go over the points, but some very valid, some wonderful points, for example, having your own product identity. When you look at a product and say this comes from India, and the only way it can do it if we talk about our own identity, and many more wonderful points. But just wanted to validate that this is our NID and EPCH combined project. And we do hope, Sweetie, that we can do many more in the future. And I hope all of you will also come forward as exporters to really link up with students so that we can take these projects forward. Thank you, Sweetie.
Thank you. I would love to have, hear back your thoughts if you have any.
So, I want to ask, so when we talk about the supply chain, so does exporters should also consider reverse supply chain as per what you have mentioned?
Not really reversing per se, but
And waste management require a reverse supply chain to come back to its nature.
I would call it circularity. Reversing means something else. It might have some negative connotations there. So yeah, but it has to be tailor-made. I don't think I've given one solution, but all kind of a situation that cannot really happen. Yeah.
Anybody else has any questions, suggestions, comments? Yeah.
So I'm a buyer, importer from the United States, and coming to these is interesting, gives me an inside view on how you guys are running your export, which makes me want to work with you more. Which is interesting when you say or see trash laying around and think it's worthless. It's really not, because this bag is made out of waste. Yeah, and I love it. Obviously, I brought it here. I could have bought Louis Vuitton and got poor, but that is what I choose to have under my arm. We like. So the United States is very interested in buying repurposed materials. It's very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sweetie ji, you are by profession an engineer.
And a designer.
And a designer, right? So you very much fit in into the job we have in mind, the task we have in mind. Your presentation has been very good, but the challenges before the industries are different.
Absolutely.
Because we have been discussing sustainability, usability, brand value बढ़ जाएगी, profit बढ़ जाएगी for last 2 years. Unfortunately, we have not been able to translate all this discussion into products. Our whole objective of roping in NID was that you people have academic experience, practical experience, plus execution experience. Now that is what we require for the industry. आपने यहाँ पे मटेरियल का सैम्पलिंग लगाया, कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स भी लगाए. Our requirement right now is जो भी मटेरियल हम बात करते हैं उसकी सोर्सिंग क्या होगी, उसकी प्राइसिंग क्या होगी, how to convert the process by process the raw material into a product. Because academic discussion is not going to help us. So that is where I would like NID to take initiative. Second thing, we discussed and you mentioned lower cost than the virgin material while we are using waste. But practically situation ये हो रही है कि जहाँ भी waste material use हो रहा है, जब प्रोडक्ट का लेवल कॉस्ट लगता है तो प्रोडक्ट कॉस्ट इज हाई. वो करेक्शन कैसे होगा? These are basic requirement of economics. You said it will be economic, community बढ़ेगी, सब बढ़ेगी. अरे लेकिन जब एंड प्रोडक्ट का जो प्राइस लेवल ही सही नहीं होगा तो ये सारी कहानी हम अचीव कैसे करेंगे? So what I have suggestion to all of you is, we want to live in reality. We have had enough seminars, we have had enough discussion. जब वो बाहर टेबल पे बैठता है तो पहला शब्द सस्टेनेबिलिटी की बात करता है. उसको सब कुछ चाहिए, लेकिन how to achieve that? You understand my point? आपने कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स वहाँ लगाए, जैसे आपने यहाँ पे वो बैम्बू का जो स्टूल लगाया, साइकिल लगाई. You know, the concept is very good for our country, because in our country children can have those type of things at a lower cost. That is where the success will be. तो सबसे बड़ा मेरा निवेदन आप लोगों से ये है कि जब हम डिज़ाइन का कॉन्सेप्ट खड़ा करते हैं, in addition to that, we also have to find a way how to convert that into a product. Then only we can achieve this. तो ये मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है. आपने जो गॉडरेज का एग्जाम्पल दिया, बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दिया आपने, कि अगर हम अच्छा मटेरियल बनाते हैं तो लॉन्गेविटी होती है, रिड्यूसेस कॉस्ट, ब्रांड वैल्यू बढ़ती है. सो दैट इज़ ए वेरी गुड एग्जाम्पल यू हैव क्रिएटेड. लेकिन और मटेरियल्स में जैसे लेदर वेस्ट बैग्स, अरे भाई लेदर वेस्ट बैग्स तो आपने सैंपल लगाया है, ठीक है ना, लेकिन वो कोई खरीदेगा नहीं. ठीक है, मेरा बोलने का मतलब है कि हमारा सोचने का तरीका ठीक है, बट हमें तो वहाँ पहुँचना पड़ेगा जो माल हम बना के बेच सकें. आप समझना मेरी बात को. आपने और बहुत सारी बातें करी हैं. मेरा सजेशन ये है, देयर इज ए बूथ हियर, आई विल आस्क ऑल्सो, और आप भी वो बूथ विजिट कीजिए. हम लोगों ने जितनी भी यहाँ बात की है उसके आधे सवाल वहाँ पे उन्होंने ऑलरेडी क्रिएट कर दिए हैं. यू अंडरस्टैंड माई पॉइंट? सो आई वुड सिंसियरली रिक्वेस्ट यू, and then you give us input. We want to continue, but my suggestion to all of you is, all these young people want solution. ज्ञान तो सबको मिल गया, solution देने वाला चाहिए मेरे को. You understand my point? So let's look at that point. ठीक है?
So, can I just
Yeah.
response here?
I think very, very fair, and these were actually my concerns also. I know what forum I'm going to and what I'm talking about, and they might not be proportionate to each other. I knew it right from the beginning. I myself have been trained under the Victory, and I've been in export segment. But while design is a very accommodative discipline, and you're right, we need to think of solutions and actions. And at one point of time, NIT was itself a manufacturing facility, where basically what I'm trying to say is under one roof, when you integrate everything. So ideally, it is like a handshake happens both ways, right? If I make the best chair in the world, if I don't sit properly on it, then it can't be a problem of the chair itself. What I'm trying to say is
अरे ये पूरी इंडस्ट्री आपके साथ है.
yes.
आपने वो एक चेतन का लगा रखा है.
जी.
I'm supporting Chetan.
Yes,
She
absolutely.
is an NID graduate. She is working in Calcutta. She is supporting 400 ladies in Northeast and Calcutta. She has taught them how to produce good quality crochet products. One of the best, यहाँ जो भी दिख रहा है. तो NID people, we have trust in you. You all can do it. लेकिन भाई कराओ ना.
Absolutely, that was my last point. That we really design is all about tailor-made solutions. So
Correct.
if all the manufacturers actually integrate a designer, and not just in the product design capacity, but thinking capacity and strategizing capacity, it's possible. And I think many more such solutions which are not just thoughts but action will come out of this initiative. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No. Oh.
Business. So when we make ceramic crockery, we have to add some chemicals for that glossy and strengthening the product. So we have tried to recycle it many times, but due to of the chemicals we add, it's not possible to recycle it. Like you told us about that ceramic mug that you have recycled. So can you please share what were the things?
Yeah, I can actually connect you to the designer because I'm not a ceramic, I'm a furniture designer. So I'm not an expert on ceramic, but let's connect after this and I'll connect you to the designer who has worked on it. And I'm
Because
sure
ma'am,
he's...
it's like the products manufacturing cost is a lot, and then if the products gets waste, we have to use it in landfills, and it hurts a lot.
I can understand, that's where the solution was coming from. But thank you for your will to take it up.
And through this project, what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring designers and exporters on one platform which is already created. So can you just open it? The computer is on. Just open the Design Connect platform. And in this Design Connect platform, what we are doing is we have at this point over 600 designers from across the country. Many of them are from NIFT and NID and from many other schools also. We have MOUs with almost 10 to 12 different design institutions in the country, and the platform is essentially so that exporters don't have to run to look for designers. All the time people are asking us, where do we find designers? So the designers are now sitting on this platform, and we are urging all exporters also to join this platform, and through an AI mechanism. So for instance, if you are a textile producing company and you are working in home furnishing and you use print as a medium, if you want to put your keywords in, then those right designers will automatically connect with you through our backend that we have created, and those designers will be, their CVs will be sent to you. And then you can, carry on the process. So that's our Design Connect platform, and it says connecting exporters to global design talent. And we are constantly upgrading this. We are also doing a large number of trend seminars, bringing trends to you people, to exporters closely. And rather than giving generic trends, what we are doing is, for instance, we are targeting our clusters. So if we have a Saharanpur cluster, then we are targeting the Saharanpur cluster, and we are hiring designers, creating products on the basis of the trends, and then sharing trends along with products for that. So like we did for Narsapur, that was a small cluster, and we were never able to go to Narsapur because the number of exporters are so small over there. So we always hesitate to go there. But now we've started doing this online also, and then we are creating products. We design the products, and then we invite the industry to join us. And our videos, which we have tied up with an organization called Fashion Snoops, the fashion forecast, our videos are available online, and anybody who is joined on this platform can access the trends for different seasons. So currently we are showing the fall winter 25-26 season for trends, and very shortly, coming as soon as the fair gets over, we will start to move to spring summer 26 collections will start to show. So we are bringing the latest trends. We also have a design clinic scheme under which locally you can go to the EPCH office, and you can ask the person concerned over there to show you any type of trends. So whatever we are showing, in addition to that, the entire platform that EPCH purchases, that you can also get a look at. We have passwords, we have I think 5 passwords, so 5 of our centers have that, and the others can always contact me or Sunil, and you can we put our email addresses out. You can contact us for any other details that you require. If you have any questions on that, me or Sunil will be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Vandana ji. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions to Vandana ji about the Design Connect? Well, it's yet another remarkable initiative of EPCH, which is really going to hugely benefit the industry. And as you just mentioned that you are looking for the trends of 25-26 for winter, फैशन स्नूप से ही हमारे बीच सृष्टि है, हमारी अगली जो वक्ता है, our panelist. But before I invite Srishti here, we'd like to present a memento to Sweetie Thor for a wonderful presentation. I request Pasi ji to kindly present a memento on behalf of EPCH to Sweetie.
या मोबाइल पीछे सर
Thank you so much. And so today, Srishti's topic is home shifts.
So home shifts क्या है? Home shifts is basically we create themes every season as a response to the demand of the industry. Industry में जो भी demand आ रहे हैं, our team observes them and we come up with themes every season. For fall winter 25-26, I would like to highlight 5 of our themes named Delight, Liminal, Repose. Okay, everyone speaks English here, right? So I can use one language. Perfect. So we have 5 themes: Delight, Liminal, Repose, Merit, and Cultivate. So basically these are 5 different product categories, okay, if we keep it simple like that. Under Delight, as the name suggests, delight means delightful, it means colorful, it means playful, okay. All these characteristics you will find under products we will create for Delight theme, okay. So the philosophy basically, we are just merging luxury with a lot of, you can say, childlike, wonderful products. And that is basically inspiring us for like endless opportunities. So it's a very colorful thing going on, makes everyone happy like that. Second is liminal. Liminal is basically what it means. So all these things will be seen, the products under that category will be highlighted under merit. And then we lastly have cultivate, like the name suggests. It will be around like a lot of handcrafted goods, like we were discussing in the previous presentation. Traditional techniques, beautiful Indian craft, so abstract forms, clean lines. All these products we are inviting under the cultivate theme. For this session, since we are short on time, I will be focusing on Delight and Liminal only. Okay, so if you have any questions, please write it down and you can just email me. Also, you can click as many pictures as you want. Key update. Delight. Like I said, colorful, bright, playful. This is the mood board. So the products under this category will suit a lot of youthful young cafes, college students maybe like trying to furnish their house. There's also a very interesting consumer psychology behind this. How people these days they want luxury items, but the youth today want they are buying more decor products because of social media, and then also they're not able to traditionally invest in heavy investments like big furniture, durable furniture. So they are investing in a lot of decor pieces. That is one shift that there is going on in the industry. So you can create small quirky decor pieces for this theme. There's a video. Okay, now when we have seen the video, there's like decor updates I would like to highlight. So here are the key updates for decor category. Okay, there are a lot of many various other categories as well. So we have what I have mentioned specifically is inflated forms, joyful expression, and geometric perspective. So since it's a celebration of life, color, and creativity, we are embracing like a lot of boldness and creative expression in the products. We are celebrating the joy and vibrancy of life under this. You will see geometric contours we are providing for structure. The inflated forms actually, the whimsical decor inflated forms add a lot of, they are very attention seeking, okay? And there's a light, youthful humor aesthetic going on. Very vibrant, very energetic, right? So you can also add like a lot of Indian meenakari or all these techniques to make your product stand out. Under inflated forms, I have highlighted 3 examples. Now you will see under metal, but I'll also mention how to use this in different other products. So shapes that look like inflated balloons, you can say, they actually create like a very solid and fun and surprising effect. And their soft and puffy experience, like you can see, it invites a lot of like playful element to it. So action points here is, if you're using, you have to first of all focus on the shape. And if you're using stainless steel, you can use like sheet metal here. You can also use iron here if you want to, with nickel plating on top, because of the price factor, and also iron is way more easier to mold. You can also make it very high end if you use brass, but brass does not fit with the aesthetic. But if you want to go away from the aesthetic and just create a product for one of your clients, like the design, you can go ahead and use that. Also, there's like readily available pipes and stocks which you can use, pre-made pipes, to create like the trunk of the lamp. First and second image, you can use iron pipe, you can weld the pipes. Third ways, you can just actually use a die press or mold technique on it. And if you're using some other material, you can use wood and metal. If you're using wood, you have to use a lot of rich wood texture. Fine wood also would go well, but you won't be able to easily like mold it and structure it, right? If you can also use a great combination of marble and metal here, that would look really good. Use a lot of textured marble if you're using one. And you can also make it sustainable. You can play around with a lot of ceramic or clay. Just keep the look very earthy in that case. So that is inflated forms. Next is joyful expression. And I just saw someone put a story. I was also discussing with Vandana ma'am how they actually followed the entire theme. We were very happy to see that. So this particular,
So I want to say something. You know, we've been doing these presentations across the country, and one of the exporters has copied exactly the same products which are on the forecast. Now that is absolutely not acceptable. These are ideas which we take and then we mold and create our own. Because if you do the same thing, you would get into copyright issues. So it is my request to everyone, look at something like that. Now that's a crooked little, hanger, cloth hanger. The same thing we can create, but in a different color, in a different shape, maybe a different gauge of metal, different size, but we cannot duplicate exactly. That's copying and it's not considered to be correct in the design world, and I think it's not good for business. So while we are very flattered that people were looking at our presentations so carefully, I think copying is not a good thing.
Exactly. So, joyful expression, we're taking inspiration from the groovy aesthetics of the 1960s. The curves actually are bringing a lot of movement. They draw the eye out of space. So that's that. We have action points. To create this, you can use mold dies to get this. You can shape bend in metal if you're using that. If you're using wood, try to incorporate laser cutting. You can just use these shapes, but yeah, don't copy. So finish, talking about finish, and on metal you have to do powder coating. Keep it very pastel, not glossy. Also you can use our LS Pantones. We would be happy to share along with the presentation. If you are using wood, you can use pine wood easily here. You can use teak wood, or if there is any preference for price point. And yeah, use happy colors, red, orange, yellow, pastel tones, all of these things. This category is also very mass production friendly. A lot of buyers like Anthropology, Cost Plus, Target, they do source from India such designs every season. Then we have geometric perspectives. So geometric shapes and cheery primary colors, they bring a childlike joy to functional and decorative pieces. Action point here is to focus on the shape again. Don't go very organic, keep it very structured. You can do mixed materials as well, metal and wood. That's great. You can also strategically use different textures, okay, and materials throughout the piece, from wood to marble. And you can also use brass to make it a little high end. And yeah, it really playing with combinations actually creates a lot of dynamic. It creates a dynamic design. It's very versatile like that as well. When it comes to product ideas, you can create products for, let's say, kitchen, desktop, and bedroom pieces, accessories, all these things. When we talk about finishes, you can use chrome finish if you are using stainless steel. You can give your products a very ombre color effect. You can use solid enamel. You can mix and match these things. Make it as diverse as possible. It keeps it very playful. And applying unexpected geometric forms to traditional elements, which I'm talking about here. Let's say it's just a normal kettle, but when you bend the shape here, you just restructure it. It really creates an element of novelty in the product, and if accompanied by pops of pattern, the effect really gets enhanced in that way. Then we have furniture. We have key updates for furniture: shape play, play-doh forms, and whimsical details. So under shape play, balance is the key here. So you have to carefully construct the arrangements to play with the balance. Action points is you have to use 3D shapes, okay, and prefer materials that you can mold. Pine wood, timber is an obvious choice if you want to go ahead with wood, okay, and you can use a lot of saturated tints on top. You can create a collection of 4 to 5 different structures, different shapes here. You can also go ahead with sustainable materials if required. When it comes to another effect on it, you can use a lot of color blocking. It gives a distinctive interest. It creates a distinctive interest. Okay, and it also amplifies the entire effect of the product. So yeah, use a lot of daily pink or deep pink, blues, all these things, because it really enhances the products, brings out the innocence and simplicity of it. We have play-doh forms. You don't have to exaggerate the forms here, but a surprise element would work. This can be made in wood and stone combination easily. Wood is very versatile, I would say, and very adaptable. And make sure you use pastel colors to keep the edges neat, and to make it even better, try using like eco-friendly paints, eco paints for furniture, chemical-free paints. This will really elevate your products, okay? We have whimsical details. Now, you can just play around with like a lot of unconventional details like this spring. Use springs, make the legs of chairs spare, maybe if required, cuboid. Experimenting with the forms actually is the key here. Another theme you will follow here is the retro theme, like slightly, okay? So you can upcycle products like these. You can reimagine like vintage objects into like retro pieces. You can see this looks very Indian, right? You can use rattan here along with metal. There's also a Korai grass mat craft from Tamil Nadu. You can actually recreate that and come up with like cool benches, play with a lot of striking contrast, mix bright colors with different materials. It really makes a strong statement without making like, it really brings out the effort. It makes the product more effortless, I can say. So that's whimsical details. And then we have our home textile for delight. So there are key updates: playful quilting, charged chroma prints, and large French accents. Playful quilting, so using bold floral designs in various areas like on tables, patterns, and decoration, it really brings a vibrant, dreamlike energy to a room. You can also come up with like unique patterns of flowers, leaves, any other icons, XYZ. You don't have to keep it very basic, but a little like playful, honest, and raw. This can also be done in quilts, table runners, floors, mats, rugs, curtains, etc. How have you done this? Can anyone guess the technique here? I would like to make the session a little more interactive.
It's a computerized quilting.
Yeah, quilting machine you mean, right? Exactly.
It can be manually done.
Yeah. So the reason I ask this question is because let's keep it very interactive. We all will learn more. Okay, and you can feed designs to the computer basically. Rest everything will be handled automatically. Another element you can play around with is like contrast threads. Okay, so that will also elevate the entire icons you are using on the products. We have charged chroma palette. So using colors high in intensity actually creates a very nice visual harmony to the eyes. Using a single bold color like cherry red can bring a lot of energy to a room, I would say. Okay, and you can also apply this color to various materials. That helps. It looks like very uniform. Okay. Along with that, you can create products like bed sheets, throws, pillows, all these things. So the action point here is to create a nice harmony out of it. And then we have fringe accents. It's not a surprise, but fringes do bring out like the, you can say, joy out of a product, okay? It adds a carefree and casual attitude to a product immediately. So use that, it looks very chic.
सिर्फ ऐसे चला दो, उधर की बंद कर दो स्क्रीन के साइड की, ताकि उधर का डार्क नहीं, लाइट नहीं होगा, डार्क ही रहेगा। पता ही नहीं है कौन किधर का है, सब देखना पड़ेगा एक और जना।
And you can in fact also decorate the fringes by adding 3 details on it. Next we have is liminal.
Shrishti, if you can just give me a minute. So I think you notice that we've talked about only one theme at this point of time. Shrishti's talked about the delight theme and tried to cover different product categories. And of course you will find that on their platform, the Fashion Suits platform, working with different categories. But today we are talking about decor, home and furniture. So these are the 3 categories we are covering. But there are other categories also which you can look at under the same theme. So the idea is that if you understand the theme and the mood and the color palette, then you can apply it to any of the categories that you work with. And we are working in the home segment at this point of time. Of course, the platform also offers fashion and other things, which if people are working on, they can look at that also.
So liminal, like I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, is very futuristic. Like the mood board says, it's very metallic, it's very digital, it's beyond human, surreal, all the adjectives. Okay, so we are using superimposed pastels that are slightly cooler in tone, but last season we were using pastels, but they were very high in intensity. But this season we are just keeping it very subtle, okay? And you will see a lot of chrome finish, milky glazes, unconventional shapes, forms, all these things. And we have a video for this as well. Let's start with decor. So we have key updates: soft, brutalist construction, liquefied textures, and material dichotomy. So it's like a blend of organic and futuristic, exaggerated dimensions. There's a brutalist effect to a few pieces as well. You'll see a lot of metal here because metal surfaces like steel are both durable and stylish. Okay, and they also protect us with rainy weather, and they also detect light in thousands of interesting ways. Another combinations also you can use apart from metal is like black stone and metal. Combination black stone and metal. You can use clay. You can use wood in a very nice dark ebony, black ebony finish. You can combine it with wood. Soft brutalist construction. So we have contrast texture. And you can just observe how there's like a sense of power and like raw and natural to the products. So basically brutalized construction, it's very heavy, it will look heavy, but the edges are not sharp at all. It's very soft when it comes to that. So there are like cozy touches, there are rounded shapes. So it's all about making a space look very cool and modern, while it is still feeling comfortable and welcoming. Okay. The first image is kettle, like you can see, it's stainless steel. You can create that using like mold or die technique, die pressed. Second and third, basically you can create in like cast aluminium or brass. Okay, brush finish for that rich, delicate look, and keep the shapes very robust, very raw. That's the idea. You can create these products absolutely in wood and metal, clay. You can also add like resin elements, like in the first image. Instead of wood, you can use a very nice resin handle. Okay. And we have liquefied texture. So shaping the metal or glass into curves, it actually creates a very like wave-like appearance, and it brings like imagine the room is very still, but once you place a product like that somewhere, it creates a sense of movement. Okay, so that's the approach here. So you have to focus on like forms, shapes here. First image, the coaster is made in like cast aluminium with chrome electroplating. Okay. Another thing is we have the second image. It's made out of textured glass. The shape is very organic. The illusion actually creates movement with gentle fluidity in the room. And the third one, we again have a glass textured piece, bumps on the surface, organic dents. It really adds character to the entire piece. And I would really suggest to create this in like glass or metal. You can also use clay for that matter, but it really does not fit well. Actually, it does fit well with like milky glaze on it. So you can try experimenting with that. And we have material dichotomy. So frozen textures, and if basically the contrast, it adds a sense of power, like I said, along with a natural feel to a space. Use two-tone colors made with different materials like wood and metal, strong contrasting materials like soft upholstery in the middle image, and hard elements. They generate a visual and tactical appeal to a product. Along with that, use masking and buff tone on the first image, bring a like two-tone effect on a product. And if you are trying to make like food products here, then use stainless steel, but put a food grade finish on top, like a lacquer on top. And the rest you can also make it in iron or like aluminum, all these products. And focus strongly in creating a contrast out of it. Let's see furniture. We have blurred materiality, soft industrial design, and moldable assembly. blurred materiality. So let's talk about this. It's a very important, I think. Can anyone tell me how did we create the first product? The materials used in the first image. Did you see my screen? So this is concrete and like resin, okay. So we call them Golia benches. It was created by a designer, I forgot his name actually right now. But they have a bold and sculptural design that stands out. We're combining interesting materials like raw concrete and a shiny epoxy resin seat here. And the concrete base is actually held by a brass, you can say, rod, okay, in between. So the structure is very brutalist, okay, it gives a solid and strong look. And then we have also at bottom, if you notice, we have created a sea salt corrosion. So like you have seen sea may, there's like corrosion happens because of the natural ions in it, like I forgot the name. So you have to just create that. Yeah. So there is sulfate and magnesium ions basically, and you can also recreate this in the factory. You just have to like dip it in a chemical substitute. Okay, so you can just try experimenting with that. It looks very contemporary at the same time. And the second and third image we have used dyed acrylic resin sheets. Okay, which are basically glued together, but it actually adds a futuristic element in your entire product. So that is about blurred materiality. We have soft industrial design. So I actually did see a lot of exporters trying this out, and it is basically created using soft forms. We are keeping aside the traditional and conventional aggressive look on industrial design. And either you can keep it raw, or you can use a very light finish, or you can also use iridescent finish. So to achieve that, you can you can use anodizing. You can also use that iridescent spray that comes. Okay, so you can just research about that. You can also use chemical patinas on that. And patinas are irregular. It does not, two pieces does not come alive. So you have to just do some experiment on that. And the spray I was talking about is actually a coating, so you can look into that. And if you are trying to make this in like other material like wood, then I would suggest don't make it very heavy. You have to keep it very light and soft at the same time, and industrial. So that is soft industrial design. And we have lastly moldable assembly. So molding metal in organic bends, it actually produces a wave-like appearance, and that injects movement in a room. Okay, so curved shapes, they create a playful twist on reality. So we are creating a contrast with sharp edges, making the experience more engaging. Okay, and you can create waves on metal sheet here while it's still hot. Try mold casting. You can also try heat shrinking technique on metal sheets. And then after that, you can just buff it, and you can just add some finishes on top. So that is about that. And we have home textiles here at last. He updates metallic threads, digitally inspired prints, and superimposed pastel accents. So metallic threads actually adds a very ethereal look to the entire textile product. So you can use shiny materials either as it is, gold finish, fabric, and you can use to achieve the glitch effect. You can use metallic base experiment with like textures, threads. So there's a technique used here. It's called ruching. I don't know if you pronounce it like that correctly. I call it ruching. So you can use a very aluminium sort of metal fabric, try to ruching technique there, add threads, weave it all together, and you can come up with like nice products like that. Along with that, there's like digitally inspired prints. So we have an AI tool on our platform. Our platform is totally AI backed. So there are AI tools. You can actually leverage them to create like digital prints these days. Along with that, you can experiment, try different keywords which will suit different themes to follow for that as well. And you can keep the color palette very subtle, very cool, a lot of pastels basically. And Then we have superimposed pastel accents. So the soft transition which you observe here adds like depth and brings a cheerful brightness to a room. Okay, and it makes the space look very inviting actually. And since we're talking about transition, we can create like a blurred ombre effect also on these products. These look like regular products, but if placed in the right space, will actually bring out the character to it. And you can use different materials, techniques out of it, like and different materials like cotton, wool, to experiment with this. Create table runners, mats, rugs, all of these things.
I have a question.
Yes.
This is a very spring summer look. So I was just kind of re-emphasizing that this is a winter fabric.
This is a pastel. This is not like a bright.
Very spring look.
No, this is not a spring look. No. This is for fall winter. All the first shifts. So the first one was delight and the second one is liminal. Liminal has a very cool effect to the entire palette. We are not using a lot of bright colors, but we are using like subtle imposed pastels on that. Cool tones. So that's the idea.
I think we have a little time, so I just request you if you can get onto the platform and show everybody how it works.
Okay, I need my laptop because then there's a password which is, I don't remember the password actually.
Okay, so you want to put your laptop?
I can absolutely.
Why don't you do that? I'm not catching outside.
Looks like. The platform is AI backed, and all the reports we do on fashion soaps are 4 seasons ahead. It's like 2 years in advance. So we have explore section, track and create. Under explore you'll find all the like design relevant reports. We start with the culture, of course. It's very important to understand the cultural shifts and all macros, opportunities, insights. And then we have all the markets. For home, we have a forecast section. We have like holiday collection and the seasonal capsules, trade shows we are covering, market intelligence. And under forecast itself, we have various reports, various seasons right now. We do a lot of design aesthetic, like core design, for core design inspiration. We have home shifts, market files, seasonal capsules, and a lot of different home categories. Okay, report for like outdoor or hardcores, decor, tabletop, all these things. And should I show more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
Just
So-
go into one category and then you can explore all.
Sure, I can go with like hardcores. So let me just show you the shifts first of all. So the shift I talked about, like delight and liminal, so it's like you can see we are offering narrative themes early in the season. Actually the internet is very slow, so it's not good. So you'll have home shifts everywhere here under our home shift section, and then we're also doing market files, basically how to create, use that inspiration and turn into products. Okay, and okay. So these are all the home shifts we have. I discussed delight and liminal. Then we have reports. We have merit, cultivate, expand, equilibrium for like next summer, spring. And then we already have like spring summer 26 shifts, which I will be, which ma'am will be uploading on her Design Connect. And then we have We have market files, so basically design updates for each individual market, okay? When it comes to patterns for textiles or like soft goods, um, items under soft goods, hospitality also we have kitchen, bath, architecture, items, we have furniture,
I think it would be interesting if you just show how the product categories you can look at, like
Okay.
different types of products.
Okay, and then we have all these different key heads. If you want to go look for all the relevant reports for lighting, let's say you can go to our lighting section, or if you just want to focus on soft goods, you can just go to our soft goods section. So I'll just select that. So once you select that category, everything relevant from trade shows to like retail updates on that, from our forecast to color to patterns, everything for soft goods will be visible to you on the same page. So I just selected, but unfortunately because of the internet, it is just taking a little bit of time. But you got the idea. You can just go through all these filters. Navigation is very good on the platform. And along with that, another highlight is how our platform has a track section also. So this is the forecast which I'm showing you. But then, since this is not loading, I can also introduce you to our track section. So here you can see what is actually selling in the market right now. Okay, so one is forecast, which is coming in the future. But then we have track, which will tell you what home brands, retailers, furniture, manufacturers, all of these people are selling in the market right now across the globe. So we have a database of 25,000 brands under track. So we have retail life, social life, we have art life to create AI-inspired shapes, pattern images. We have trade shows covering all the home trade shows on the platform itself. So the soft goods, so like I said, you'll come with the seasons, you can select report types for soft goods as well. And then you have all the recent reports for soft goods when it comes to material and what is actually the connection to culture as well. We showcase that. What is the actual forecast, lifestyle section, the retail, holiday season for soft goods. You find we have like trade shows for soft goods, color palettes. Yeah.
Okay, Shrishti, I think I hope you all will take out the time and connect with us to, if you want more information on the trend forecast that EPCH is offering to all their member exporters. And at this point, I'd like to thank Shrishti for her presentation. We have the next speaker here. Thank you so much.
So before I introduce the next speaker, we'd like to present a memento to Srishti. Srishti, if you can just step this side. We'd like to... Thank you for a very interesting